Listen.
I fucking live the way I want to live, baby. I live the way I want to live.
They go from 6 to 25.
I'm a sicko.
They go from 6 to 25.
I'm bad.
They go from 6 to 25.
I'm a sicko.
They go from 6 to 25.
On or about September 30, 2014, Ms. Doe first contacted defendant Delia via Instagram. She sent him a photograph of herself via direct message, a message that she sent privately to defendant Delia. The photo showed a young Ms. Doe, holding a giant teddy bear and laughing. Ms. Doe and her friend had been watching the television show Workaholics and had seen defendant Delia in an episode. Ms. Doe and her friends sent the photo to defendant Delia as a joke. They assumed he would not answer because of his celebrity status. Defendant Delia responded to Ms. Doe's direct message right away, asking her to come to one of his comedy shows. Ms. Doe responded, telling defendant Delia she would probably make it to one of his shows in November, in Connecticut. Defendant Delia was scheduled to perform a show in Mashantucket, Connecticut on November 7, 2014, at the Fox Theater at Foxwoods Resort Casino as part of his Under No Influence comedy tour. The day after Ms. Doe first messaged defendant, he asked her if she had a Snapchat account. Ms. Doe did not answer defendant's question for a while because she was not sure if she should. When Ms. Doe did not answer defendant Delia right away, he sent her another message with his Snapchat account information. Ms. Doe added defendant Delia as a friend on Snapchat later that day. Defendant Delia continued to communicate with Ms. Doe via social media and began to solicit child pornography images from Ms. Doe via Snapchat and email. As soon as Ms. Doe added defendant Delia on Snapchat, he started sending her messages. He sent her a picture message immediately, and Ms. Doe responded. Defendant asked Ms. Doe again about coming to his comedy show. Defendant also asked Ms. Doe to show him more of herself. Defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe to keep sending him pictures, each time asking to see more of her. Defendant first asked Ms. Doe to send him a photo showing her whole body, and then asked Ms. Doe to send him a photo of herself undressed. Defendant Delia's messages to Ms. Doe became sexual very quickly. The same night they first started exchanging messages, defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe to send him nude pictures of herself. Ms. Doe felt uncomfortable with defendant Delia's request, so she ignored his request and repeatedly tried to change the subject. Defendant Delia persisted and continued asking Ms. Doe for nude photos of herself. For approximately the next month, Ms. Doe and defendant exchanged messages every day. Complaint during that time, defendant asked Ms. Doe for pictures of herself occasionally. Defendant Delia and Ms. Doe communicated primarily via Snapchat and email. After the first few times Ms. Doe sent him photos of herself, defendant Delia asked her to send him photos or videos of herself by email. Over time, defendant Delia became more insistent in his requests for photos of Ms. Doe, including by urging her to send him photos at specific times and soliciting specific kinds of photos from Ms. Doe. On October 6, 2014, defendant commented, "Haha," on a photograph of Ms. Doe's father that Ms. Doe posted on her Instagram account and commented. On October 19, 2014, defendant liked a photograph of Ms. Doe that she posted on her Instagram account. The photograph, captioned "Selfie Sunday Still a Thing," showed a fresh-faced Ms. Doe. On October 23, 2014, Ms. Doe posted a photo of herself and a friend from her high school's Spirit Day. The photo showed her and another person dressed up in red, white, and blue, in the hallway of her high school. Ms. Doe had her hand over her heart and the caption read, "Could we get more patriotic?" In the background were other students walking in the hallway, several of whom were similarly dressed up for Spirit Day. Defendant Delia commented on the photo, "Haha WTF." Ms. Doe's friends commented, expressing surprise and asking Ms. Doe how she knew defendant Delia. Defendant Delia commented a second time, at Ms. Doe, "Haha I'm not hating. So funny, everyone tripping out on the comments too." Ms. Doe responded to defendant, at Chris Delia, "Haha look what you've done." During their interactions, defendant Delia was pleasant and showed interest in Ms. Doe. At times, however, defendant Delia was pushy or aggressive when Ms. Doe communicated with him. For example, Ms. Doe avoided sending defendant Delia photos of herself several times because she was uncomfortable, was with her family, or was at school. Defendant Delia continued to insist that Ms. Doe send him the photos he had requested and would not talk about anything else until she complied with his demands. Ms. Doe sent defendant Delia approximately 5 to 10 sexually explicit photos and videos of herself before she met him in person. Ms. Doe was only 17 years old at the time. Defendant Delia and Ms. Doe met in person and had sex over time. Defendant Delia became increasingly insistent that Ms. Doe meet him in person. For example, after Ms. Doe initially told defendant Delia that she would attend his show, she had second thoughts and told defendant Delia that she may not be able to make it to his show. In response, defendant Delia guilted Ms. Doe by telling her how much he wanted to see her and how special it would be if she came to his show. The night before defendant Delia's show in Connecticut, Ms. Doe and defendant Delia exchanged phone numbers at Ms. Doe's suggestion. Defendant Delia gave Ms. Doe a phone number she later learned was a fake phone number associated with a text messaging application. On November 7, 2014, Ms. Doe and two of her friends drove from their hometown to the Foxwoods Resort Casino in Mashantucket, Connecticut, where defendant Delia was performing that night. Ms. Doe told defendant Delia what time she was planning to arrive at his show. In response, defendant Delia insisted Ms. Doe needed to arrive earlier so they could hang out before the show. When she did not immediately agree, defendant Delia continued to pressure Ms. Doe to arrive at the venue early enough to see him before the show started. When Ms. Doe arrived at the Foxwoods Resort Casino, defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe via text message to come up to his hotel room at the casino before his show. Defendant Delia told Ms. Doe via text message what floor his room was on, but he did not tell her his specific room number. Ms. Doe was very nervous about going to defendant Delia's hotel room, especially because he was so vague about which room he was in, so she brought one of her friends with her. When Ms. Doe and her friend got off the elevator on defendant Delia's floor, they stood in the hallway outside the elevator and Ms. Doe sent defendant Delia a text message letting him know that she was there. Defendant Delia responded with a text message telling Ms. Doe that her friend needed to leave or he would not open the door to his hotel room. Ms. Doe's friend reluctantly went back to the elevator. After Ms. Doe's friend left, defendant Delia opened the door to his hotel room, which was located in the corner of the hallway with a direct view of the elevator. Ms. Doe understood that defendant Delia had been watching her and her friend through the peephole in his hotel room door. Ms. Doe went into defendant Delia's hotel room. Defendant Delia made small talk with Ms. Doe briefly, asking her how the drive had been and a few other questions. The television in defendant Delia's hotel room was on, and defendant Delia told Ms. Doe to have a seat on the couch. Ms. Doe sat down on the couch, and defendant Delia sat next to her. Shortly after they sat down on the couch, and approximately 2 to 3 minutes after Ms. Doe had entered defendant Delia's hotel room, defendant Delia grabbed Ms. Doe's hand, put it on his already erect penis, and started moving her hand to pleasure himself. Defendant Delia then instructed Ms. Doe to get on the floor, take off his shoes and pants, and give him oral sex. Defendant Delia continued to tell Ms. Doe what to do and told her she was a good girl when she did what he said. Defendant Delia did not touch Ms. Doe, except to show her what he wanted her to do to him. Defendant Delia then made Ms. Doe undress herself while he watched, and told Ms. Doe to go lay on the bed. Defendant Delia and Ms. Doe never kissed. Approximately 10 minutes after she arrived at his hotel room, defendant Delia had sex with Ms. Doe. During sex, defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe several times to tell him how old she was. She told him she was 17 years old, and he responded that the fact that Ms. Doe was only 17, a minor, was hot. During sex, defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe if she was still in high school. She said yes, and defendant Delia responded that the fact that Ms. Doe was in high school was hot. Defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe several times to tell him what grade she was in while they had sex, and she told him she was still in high school. Defendant Delia forced Ms. Doe to look in his eyes while they had sex. Every time she tried to close her eyes or look away, defendant Delia demanded that Ms. Doe look at him. At one point, Ms. Doe looked away and defendant Delia grabbed her face and made her look at him. Ms. Doe was a virgin when she met defendant Delia. Several times during sex, defendant Delia asked her if she was a virgin, and she told him no, because she did not want him to have that information about her. Defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe several more times if she was a virgin. When she told him no, defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe how many people she had previously had sex with. In fact, Ms. Doe's encounter with defendant Delia was her first sexual experience of any kind. She had not even kissed anyone before she met him. After they finished having sex, defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe about college. He also commented that Ms. Doe had bled on his bed. Defendant Delia told Ms. Doe that she needed to come back up to his hotel room after his show. Approximately 30 minutes after she arrived at defendant Delia's hotel room, Ms. Doe left to attend defendant Delia's show. Ms. Doe returned to defendant Delia's hotel room after the show because she was confused about their first encounter. Although she felt like something was wrong, she had never had sex before that night and could not identify what she was feeling. When Ms. Doe returned to defendant Delia's hotel room after the show, he told her to give him oral sex. Defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe how she and her friends liked his show, and how big of fans they all were. Defendant Delia also asked Ms. Doe if her friends were in high school too, but otherwise did not make conversation with Ms. Doe. After she gave him oral sex, defendant Delia had sex with Ms. Doe again. At the end, defendant Delia made Ms. Doe sit on the floor while he ejaculated on her face. At the end of the night, Ms. Doe left defendant Delia's hotel room feeling disgusting and defeated. Defendant Delia continued to manipulate Ms. Doe to solicit child pornography images and videos from her. The next day, defendant Delia unfollowed Ms. Doe on Instagram. Ms. Doe sent defendant Delia a text message, but he did not respond. 3 days later, Ms. Doe asked defendant Delia via Snapchat if she had done something wrong to make him unfollow her on Instagram. Defendant Delia replied, telling Ms. Doe that he did not ever want to hear her say no to him, and that the last girl who said no to him did not hear from him for 6 months. Defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe, "You don't want that, do you?" At the time, Ms. Doe did not understand what defendant Delia was referring to when he told her he did not want to hear her say no. After that, Ms. Doe and defendant Delia communicated exclusively by Snapchat and email. Defendant Delia told Ms. Doe to send him sexually explicit photos or videos within a certain timeframe, and, if she did not, he unfollowed her on social media. Defendant Delia would then re-follow Ms. Doe only if she complied with his requests and sent him a new photo or video. The pattern of unfollowing and re-following happened approximately 4 times. Ms. Doe complied with defendant Delia's requests to send him sexually explicit photos and/or videos because she felt convinced that he liked her and was interested in her life. Over the course of 6 or 7 months, Ms. Doe sent defendant Delia more than 100 sexually explicit photos and videos. Of those photos and videos, approximately half of them were while Ms. Doe was a minor. During their conversations, defendant Delia told Ms. Doe how she ranked among the other girls and women he had talked to or had sex with. Defendant Delia told Ms. Doe not to have sex with anyone else because he wanted her to have sex with him only. As Ms. Doe later learned, defendant Delia's directive apparently included the caveat that he could, and did, demand she have sex with boys her own age, but under the condition that she would send him videos of herself doing so. If Ms. Doe did not do what defendant Delia asked her to, he would respond to her with degrading comments. For example, defendant Delia told Ms. Doe that she moved down in rank to his number 3 girl. Defendant Delia told Ms. Doe that his number 1 girl was in New York and did anything he asked her to do, as soon as he asked. Defendant Delia compared Ms. Doe to other women and girls and attacked her self-confidence. Defendant Delia threatened to block Ms. Doe if she did not do what he told her to, and warned her that she would never hear from him again. By contrast, when Ms. Doe complied with defendant Delia's demands, he treated her like she was the best person in the world. Defendant Delia continued to ask Ms. Doe for more pictures and videos of increasingly graphic and sexually explicit things. For example, defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe to send him a video of her touching herself sexually, while she was in class at her high school. Defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe several times to make and send pornographic videos to him of herself having sex with boys her age. About a month after she met him in person, defendant Delia told Ms. Doe that he wanted her to video record herself giving a boy her age oral sex. Ms. Doe did not want to do what defendant Delia asked, but he continued to pressure her extensively for several months. Ms. Doe felt so much pressure to comply with defendant Delia's demand that she and a female friend, who was also 17 at the time, made a video where they pretended to do what defendant Delia asked. Defendant Delia insisted Ms. Doe send him videos of her fingering herself, which she did. Defendant Delia told Ms. Doe that he wanted to have anal sex with her, and demanded she send him pictures of her buttocks, which she did. Defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe to send him photos and videos of herself putting her fingers in her mouth in a sexual manner. He asked her to put her fingers in her mouth so many times that she almost threw up. Defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe multiple times if she had any friends who would like to meet him or his friends. Defendant Delia repeatedly asked Ms. Doe to meet up with and have sex with some of his friends. At one point, Defendant Delia sent Ms. Doe a photo via Snapchat of him and the friend he wanted Ms. Doe to meet. The friends Defendant Delia wanted Ms. Doe to meet included several other stand-up comedians, Brian Callen, Jason Collins, and Michael Lenosi. In January 2015, Ms. Doe told Defendant Delia that she had been a virgin when they met. He responded, "I know, I wish you had told me that, it would have made it so much hotter." Ms. Doe also reinforced to Defendant Delia that she was 17, and Defendant Delia responded, "I know." Ms. Doe told Defendant Delia these two things because she thought it might make him realize how young and inexperienced she was, and he would be nicer to her. Ms. Doe stopped communicating with Defendant Delia on January 31, 2015. Ms. Doe turned 18. Defendant Delia and Ms. Doe continued interacting until May 2015, when Ms. Doe began a relationship with a peer. During that time, Defendant Delia continued to use the same hot and cold tactics to manipulate Ms. Doe to send him sexually explicit photos and videos of herself. Defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe to send him videos of herself having sex with her boyfriend, or tell her boyfriend certain things and then send Defendant Delia screenshots of it. Ms. Doe never sent Defendant Delia any videos of her with her boyfriend. When Defendant Delia asked Ms. Doe to tell her boyfriend via text message that she was a dirty slut who wanted him to do specific sexual things to her, Ms. Doe faked the text messages by sending them to her own phone number and then sending Defendant Delia a screenshot of the messages. Defendant Delia continued to send messages to Ms. Doe. Ms. Doe never sent him any sexually explicit photos or videos after June or July 2015. Even after she ceased sending Defendant Delia explicit photographs and videos, Ms. Doe continued to feel an obligation to make Defendant Delia happy. Defendant Delia continued to send Ms. Doe messages and asked her repeatedly to meet with him during her first year in college. Ms. Doe never met with Defendant Delia again. Ms. Doe blocked Defendant Delia on Snapchat in July 2015, and again in October 2015. Both times Ms. Doe blocked Defendant Delia because she knew their dynamic was unhealthy. Each time, Defendant Delia emailed Ms. Doe and asked her where she went, and why she did not do what he had asked her to do. Each time, Ms. Doe felt guilty and added Defendant Delia back. In October or November 2015, Defendant Delia requested Ms. Doe as a friend on Facebook using his personal Facebook account, as opposed to his professional Facebook account. Ms. Doe accepted his request. Ms. Doe rarely communicated with Defendant Delia after 2015. She eventually blocked him on Snapchat for good in 2017 when he messaged her repeatedly asking her to come to a show he was performing in West Virginia. The last communication Ms. Doe received from Defendant Delia were Snapchat messages and emails asking her to come see him in West Virginia. The last communication Ms. Doe sent to Defendant Delia was in Ms. Doe saw Defendant Delia in the second season of the television series You, on Netflix. In the show, Defendant Delia portrayed a well-known stand-up comedian who preyed on underage girls. Defendant Delia's performance in the show deeply disturbed Ms. Doe because the character he played depicted how Defendant Delia had acted toward Ms. Doe in real life. Ms. Doe suffered terrible anxiety thinking about what Defendant Delia had done to her. After seeing Defendant Delia in You, Ms. Doe sent him a final email expressing that she had been too young for what he had done to her and that she would never be in touch with him again. Ms. Doe suffered personal injury as a result of Defendant Delia's predatory behavior. Ms. Doe suffered significant emotional, physical, and psychological harm as a direct result of Defendant Delia's predatory conduct. Ms. Doe's injury and harm have persisted from the time she first communicated with and met Defendant Delia to this day. Plaintiff incorporates all preceding paragraphs by reference, as though fully stated herein.